Welcome, everybody. It's Friday, and it's time for the Assisting Hands Richmond Friday finish. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's get into the activities here. Just a second. I need to share my screen. It always takes me a second to make this transition. And here we go. Welcome again. I'm Eric Rohr. I'm the owner of Assisting Hands Richmond. With our goal here at Assisting Hands, help you remain happy and at home. So we're a home care agency. We serve the greater Richmond area. We go down to Petersburg, out deep into Goochland, Providence Forge, up past Ashland. So, anywhere in a 30 to 40 mile radius around Richmond, we can help you remain happy and at home. Our clients are adults of any age, and children. We've actually had someone as young as 4, and we currently have a client that is over 100 years old. We provide those services wherever you may call a home. That's a traditional home, an apartment, condominium, assisted living, independent living, skilled nursing. Again, wherever you call home and you need those extra support services. And our primary services are around the activities for daily living. We help with bathing and grooming, toileting, light housekeeping, cooking. We can help with medication reminders, running errands, and the like. So, and we specialize in dementia services, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But let's get going with kind of what was going on during the week. This month has been Home Care and Hospice Month. So that's winding down. We had several events around that, but we just really want to say thank you to everyone who's in the home care and hospice industry. You do tremendous work, and it really takes a heart to be in this industry, especially hospice workers. I'll have to say they deal with really tough situations, and they do it with such grace and dignity and professionalism. So one of the things that we did this month is I partnered with several other companies: Executive Care, Home Care, Bickford Senior Living, Bliley's Funeral Homes, Blue Ridge Senior Living, and Dispatch Health. And we provided a drive-through lunch. We did one on Tuesday on the West End or the North Side at Bliley's, and then we did one yesterday on Thursday at Bliley's on the South Side. And here's some pictures of us with the drive-through. I think we had like 140 people sign up for lunch. We probably handed out 120 lunches or so and gift bags. And it was really good to see everybody drive through and just show appreciation for them. And they were so appreciative, and it was just a big appreciation love fest. It's wonderful. And it's good to be out and see people. And we were doing the mask and socially distance thing. We're sticking with the drive-through kind of theme. Dunlap House, which is a really lovely assisted living and memory care community down in Colonial Heights. They had a drive-through breakfast. So I got up early and drove down to Colonial Heights and was the recipient of a drive-through breakfast. You can see me there in the car. Unfortunately, I was so excited, and maybe it's so early, I did a terrible job of taking a picture of Christy Norton here and the top, kind of cut her off of the head. But anyway, Christy's great. And if you're down in Colonial Heights, definitely go see the folks at Dunlop House. They're amazing, and they do so much for their community. All right, dementia workshops. So again, I mentioned that we specialize in dementia care. A lot of that is led by Kathy Hamlin, who's a certified dementia coach. And she's developed a series of workshops, and we're working through them and doing them virtually. And we just did one a week or so ago. The next one is on Thursday, December 10th at 10 a.m. And you must register via Zoom to attend. So if you're interested, just reach out to me. I'm posting on LinkedIn and Facebook. And so register, and I think you'll really be pleased. And this next workshops on understanding and responding to dementia-related behaviors. It's a really good, practical, hands-on on if the person or the individual living with dementia is exhibiting a certain behavior, let's call it repetitiveness or wandering. We have some really good strategies on how to deal with those situations to mitigate and lessen kind of the adverse maybe impacts that may occur. So another thing I love about this business is meeting and hiring new caregivers. And we had 5 new caregivers come through and do orientation this week, and they're already scheduled on cases, and they're off to a great start, which means they're working on their very first cash incentive, and they'll probably have it in probably 2.5 weeks. So we're super excited about that. And it was a really good group, and it was good to see all them. They were actually here for orientation today. So, all right, that brings us to our shout out of the week. And I'm really super excited about the shout out guest this week. And my shout out guests are with My Virtual OT. It's Corinne McLees and Garrett McLees, husband and wife, super duo team. I've got Garrett. Garrett, I think, drew the short straw and then had to come on with me. So I'm sure it's like some sort of punishment or whatever. Garrett, welcome. Say hi to everybody.
Thank you. Hi. Thank you, Eric, for having me on.
Yes.
I hit the jackpot, not the short straw.
Okay, all right.
It's nice to be able to be on Facebook Live with you. It's good to see you.
Yep, well, good. Well, I actually met Corinne at a networking event, was really impressed with kind of her energy and her story about what they're doing. And I quickly kind of leveraged that into a meeting with both Garrett and Corinne, and I was really blown away with what they're doing. So let's jump into it. So
Sure.
Tell me why you guys decided to start your business.
Well, as you know, this pandemic that we're going through kind of upended everything, and healthcare was not immune to that. So, in early March, when things were starting to get locked down and shut down, that impacted healthcare as well. People were having surgeries get delayed, outpatient OT appointments were getting canceled and delayed, and other healthcare related services that people really depend on were not available. So there was kind of a huge shift in needing to provide medical services via telehealth. And we saw a specific need for occupational therapy to adapt to telehealth. So we decided to start My Virtual OT from the ground up, knowing that we need to spearhead this movement, providing high quality and personalized occupational therapy services to the older adult and adult population that we serve. So we decided to, start that with our convenient telehealth model, and we've been growing ever since.
I mean, that's amazing. And, just as a side is they have 2 children, young children, and a third on the
That's
way.
right.
So they decided to deal with a pandemic, deal with everything else that's going on in our world, and start a business with kids. So, I mean, if you can't figure out how amazing these people are, it's good. So kudos off to you. So why don't you talk to me a little bit, like what kind of services do you actually provide? You talked a little bit about OT. So talk about the OT, and then we'll talk about what else you all do.
Well, our overall arching focus is really to provide high quality and personalized occupational therapy services to adults. And in doing so, we help our clients remain safe and independent at home, so that they can age in place as they grow older. And really, we want to avoid any preventable or costly hospitalizations, especially in this era of COVID. We want to keep folks, at home, strong and safe, doing what they need to do to remain independent. So there is no one size fits all approach to this, and we are kind of unique in that way. So my wife, Corinne, she's also an occupational therapist, and her background and expertise is in hand therapy and ergonomics, which is where we found our roots. Hand therapy encompasses that area of occupational therapy, treating the entire upper extremity from the hand to the shoulder. And she's really a guru in that. And she also looks at people's ergonomics. That just means like, am I sitting up straight? How am I doing what I do throughout the day? And how can I coach my clients to make sure they're doing their activities in the best ergonomical way? On the flip side, my background is heavily involved in geriatrics. So I really have an OT background that focuses on treating a range of diagnoses, including dementia, Parkinson's, stroke, orthopedic injuries from falls, and scheduled appointments such as hip replacements, shoulder replacements, etc. But I saw you had the slide come on for home modifications, and that does come into play, especially for aging in place. So I provide the service of home modification consultations or assessments. And that is where I collaborate with my clients to assess their home and determine if there's any home modifications that could be implemented to help keep them safe and independent at the home, and avoid issues that could lead to a hospitalization.
It's great. Yeah. And that was just an accidental click, but
Yeah.
let me ask you this for both of those services. And what I love is that it's keying off both your all's overall expertise, but then more probably specific expertise is now your company's called My Virtual OT. So how are
That's right.
you doing this virtually? And kind of like, talk to me a little bit about that, especially like, it's, you think about, when I think about OT is somebody's there, they're, touching you, they're grabbing you, or they're walking you through something. So how does that work virtually?
Well, it actually works really well virtually. And we knew that, hey, COVID is preventing a lot of people from being able to be out and in person at events and especially medical appointments. A lot of people are getting used to doing doctor's appointments virtually. So we were like, we know we can safely adapt OT to be virtual as well. So there are several huge pieces to OT session that work really well virtually. We're always educating whoever we're working with, coaching, if you will, on how to perform exercises or tasks in the ways that might work best for them. So really, telehealth is a good platform for some back and forth conversation and education and coaching. And additionally, we also have some unique benefits of telehealth, being that we can record ourselves doing activities or exercises as examples, and then share those videos with our clients, and then they can play back. They're not trying to remember everything that was said within an hour session. They have some flexibility on their end to be able to replay and see us explain these things over and over as many times as they need until their next session. So we've noticed fantastic carryover when it comes to home exercise programs, with folks being able to watch our videos back and know that they're doing it the right way, and have that reassurance of seeing their therapist on the screen really helps with that.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I think that also not only the individual that is going through the OT sessions is if they have loved ones or caregivers, either family or professional, they now have the opportunity to see those demonstrating the videos so they can assist the patient or the client with those in the proper methodology. They're not relying on what the client may have tried to remember what they should be doing. So I think
Absolutely.
I think it's brilliant. Yeah, it's great. And so are all those, then you customize those videos for each of your clients, and then that's available as part of their, I guess, OT package?
Yeah, so, everyone comes to OT for different reasons. So we have to figure out why you're seeing us and what we can help you with personally. And then if, you're going to require a video for an exercise, we're making that for you specifically. So you're getting one-on-one treatment from your therapist, not just for the hour session that you've signed up for that treatment session, but on an ongoing basis. We are working behind the scenes to create the exercise programs that we're providing you, the videos that we're providing you. And like you mentioned, we love it when there are family or loved ones or caregivers on the other side of the screen too. That's what we call, a hands-on helper in situations where they need an extra person present, maybe to assist. We like to pull in family and caregivers because we can work with our client virtually on the screen and the family at the same time, and everyone's hearing the same information and everyone's benefiting from it in that way.
Yeah, that's great. All right, let's talk about the home modification assessment, just so people understand a little bit more. Why don't you describe that in total, but then like what would the process look like for a home modification assessment, and then talk about that in the virtual world?
Okay. So really our home modification assessment process is 5 overall steps. And we always start any new client we are taking on with a free 15-minute phone call or teleconsult to ensure they're comfortable and ready to take on telehealth at every level and every step of the process. So this teleconsult that we do gives us an opportunity to get to know you, your specific needs and concerns, and develop a plan for your visit. During that teleconsult, we may discuss if you wish to receive a home modification consultation for yourself or on behalf of a loved one, or any areas of the home that you're having difficulty navigating. And that teleconsult gives us a chance to ensure that you're going to get the experience that you deserve and work out any kinks that you might have with the technology side of things in a low pressure environment. Now, once we've done that teleconsult, we dive in a little deeper with our client interview. And this is where we get to know you as a person and specifically your needs or occupations that you're performing. So I'll touch on that. Sometimes people get hung up on the word occupational therapy as maybe just meaning just a job. But we talk about occupations in terms of the activities that anyone's doing at home or in their daily life. And that could include ADLs like getting in and out of the shower, getting dressed, and it could include cooking, cleaning, doing laundry, or leisure activities as well. Because our goal is to make sure that we're effectively collaborating with you to maximize your safety and independence at home, doing whatever it is that's most important to you. So we have to work together with you on that process. Once we've
Yeah.
done that client interview, then we move forward with the home assessment part, and that's the actual walkthrough of the home.
And do they do
And
that? Do you do that virtually? Do you go to their homes? Like, how does that work?
yeah, so we can, so we determine that on a case by case basis based on the client interview, the comfort level, and the geographic area that someone's living in. But I'll, for example, give you how we would do that virtually. We would require that somebody on the other end have a hands-on helper present to do a walkthrough of the home with them. And then that can be done with a device like a smartphone or an iPad. And really what we're doing is they're serving as my eyes into the home and walking through it. And we're taking each room in each area of the home one step at a time. And as we're walking through it, we're talking about things that we definitely want to change, things that we want to leave alone, problem areas, any area that needs a little help. And then from there, we're going to move forward and compiling that into a written report for our clients that they will be able to see comprehensively everything that we've talked about. Because, when you're doing something like that and you're talking about so many different things, it can be easy to maybe forget what we were talking about or have something slip through the cracks. So that written report gives a reinforcement there on what everything we talked about was.
What's the most common modification you're usually seeing that's necessary?
Well, I think a lot of people are afraid that maybe someone's going to come into the house and say they got to tear everything down and start up from scratch. And I really don't like to take that approach. I think it often these are really simple things that we might not think about. An installation of a small grab bar, implementation of a shower chair or a tub chair, a handheld shower head or elevated toilet seat, or even just removing some clutter, some throw rugs or area rugs. Those are some of the most common things that we see and recommend.
Yeah. And then can you then recommend the people that could actually put the grab bars in, or where they could
Yes,
get a
yes.
shower chair or anything like that?
Right. So in that comprehensive written report that I mentioned, they're going to get a summary of their client goals that came from the client interview. They're going to get the areas of the home that we recommend be altered with examples of the modifications and the estimated cost. And then the fourth thing is going to be the community resources that you mentioned. Who can I call to do this? Who do I need to get in touch with for implementation? Now, the fifth and final piece of this whole process that I mentioned is we are here for follow-ups as needed. So your comprehensive written report is your go-to guide for beginning the home mod process. It's not the ending point. If at any point in the process someone needs more help or collaboration with us, we can schedule appointments to ensure that all questions are answered and everyone leaves the experience feeling stronger and safer, more independent at home. So we're here from start to finish to walk everyone through it, because we know that home modifications and aging in place can be an overwhelming and emotional journey, but something that we're really passionate about, and we care deeply about making sure it's done and done, you know, in the right way that everyone feels comfortable and happy with it.
Yeah, that's great. And you know,
Mhm.
as you know, my one of my taglines is help you remain happy and at home, and that is easily to be your all's goal with what you guys are doing as well. So
That's absolutely right. Yep.
and as you and I've had conversations, there's, you know, obviously ways that we can help each other's clients, and I think that's just, you know, it's a great thing.
For
All right,
sure.
well, great. So I'm going to put your contact information up there for anybody who's interested. I encourage you guys to reach out to either Corinne or Garrett, and they can be found about anywhere. There's their website, otvirtual.com, their phone number. If you want to fax them to make contact, that's the way to
We
do
can
it.
do that. We can do fax. We're on the Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We have a YouTube channel. And of course, like if anyone wants to email us individual questions, we're very responsive on all of our platforms and email. So please reach out and we're here for you.
Great. Well, that's great. Anything else? Any parting words, Garrett? You froze up on me, Garrett. There you go. You froze up there for a second.
My parting word is thank you. I appreciate the shout out and the time on Facebook.
Yeah, great. All right. Well, thank you very much and have a happy Thanksgiving.
All right, you too.
All right. So here, just we're going to wrap it up real quick. Just as a reminder, go to YouTube and search for Assisting Hands Richmond, not Assisting Hands, because you'll get a different one. So it's Assisting Hands Richmond. You'd get the corporate one. You want the Assisting Hands Richmond one. You'll have access to all of our video content, dementia workshops, and then we archive all these Friday finishes in case you want to go back and watch them again. Please subscribe and hit the bell notification so you know when new stuff comes out. And with that, I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We're not going to have a Friday finish next Friday. I'm going to try to minimize my work time next Friday, be with the family. One is my oldest daughter is coming home today from college. She's getting close. It's probably a couple hours away. And so we're really looking forward to it's going to be a smaller celebration, but it'll be the core Roar family celebrating Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Be safe. And that's it. Thank you very much and have a good weekend.